and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jody, and on my channel I talk about Broadway and books. And if you're not new here, thank you so very much for your continued support. So in today's video, I'll be continuing my Broadway show series where I talk about every Broadway show I ever saw over the 20 years I was seeing Broadway shows on a regular basis, also known now as the best years of my life that I desperately miss. But that's probably another video for another time. But as per usual with the series on my channel, I will talk about who's in the cast of my performance, who is on the creative team, any favorite songs or moments I had from the show, how I like the show itself, and anything interesting I find in the play along the way. So without any further ado, let's get on to today's show. So today I'll be talking about the 17th Broadway show I ever saw, which was the very popular musical Mamma Mia. So I did end up seeing the show a total of 3 times on Broadway. Today, though, I'll just be talking about my first time seeing the show, which, like I said, is my 17th Broadway show. So I saw the show for Mamma Mia, this show, for the first time in March of 2002 on a bus trip at the Winter Garden Theater, which is the current home to Back to the Future musical. And seriously want to see that. It looks like so much fun, but at this point, it's probably wishful thinking to see I'll ever see a Broadway show again. But like I said, another video for another time. Sorry I keep bringing that up, but what can I say? I love talking about Broadway, but sometimes it makes me super depressed now. So yeah, let's get on to what is in the playbill. And here's the first page with the credits for everybody involved in the production. The headshots of the lead and supporting performers. Sorry, I think I have a piece of food stuck in my mouth. Okay, it's not coming out. Anyways, it's been a weird day, per usual. And then this is the page with the chorus, standbys, and understudies. Oops, sorry. And then the page with the cast list. And then before I talk about the cast, there is a picture in here for when the cast performed Money, Money, Money. Elise Petra is right at the center of the picture. And I just thought I'd share this because it's just not something at least when I was seeing shows, it's not something every playbill had, a production, I guess, picture from the show. And I kind of like it, so I just thought I'd share it. Something you don't see too often. I don't know if this is coming out great, but yeah. All right. So now for who was in the cast of my performance, or who was in the show, I should say. I don't have any understudy slips that I found in my playbill, but I'm almost like 99% positive I remember not seeing Elise Petra at my performance, which I was super bummed about because when I think of Mamma Mia, I think of Elise Petra because she's like one of the leads of the show. And ironically, I did see the show like a year after my first time seeing it, and she also wasn't at the show. I mean, I love understudies. They truly help the show go on. And as someone who used to see shows all the time, so very thankful for understudies. You know, you can be appreciative of understudies and also would like to see the people in the show who normally play those parts. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. But like I said, I love understudies though. Just wanted to be clear on that. But yeah, Elise Petra was in the show, Tina Madigan, and not only was these two performers, not only did they originate the parts that they played on Broadway, but they also originate the parts, I believe, completely. Because before the show came to Broadway, it was in Toronto, and then they did a North American tour. And I believe Elise Petra and Tina Madigan also played the productions in Toronto and North American tour before they went to Broadway. So that's just like super cool. A little bit of a Broadway fun fact for you there. But yeah, I love Tina Madigan as well because a few years after she did Mamma Mia, she went to do a musical called The Wedding Singer on Broadway, which was a stage adaptation of the film. But I saw her play, I should say, she was a standby for Laura Bonetti, and she went on for Laura Bonetti for a few months because Laura Bonetti had a health issue. So I got to see her in The Wedding Singer on Broadway as well, and that's like my favorite show. So anytime anyone from The Wedding Singer is in a show, I'm probably just gonna like talk about The Wedding Singer. So now back to the cast of this Mamma Mia. Joe Mochata. I probably pronounced your name wrong. I apologize, Joe, but he played Sky. You had Judy Kay, Karen Manson, Mark Price, Michael Benjamin Washington. Um, those are just some of the names I remember. Not remember, but have recognized from seeing in other shows, and them go on to do movies and television as well. And then some more performers that I recognize their names: Holly Howard, Tyler Mannard, and Peter Matthew Smith. Just a few more performers I recognize from seeing in other shows as well. And now for who is on the creative team, I I actually looked this over and I don't recognize any names from seeing their work in other shows, but I'll show this once more again because maybe you guys do. I don't know. But obviously, I recognize. Obviously, the musical lyrics were, the songs from Mamma Mia were from the band ABBA. So obviously, an amazing score. ABBA's just like such amazing music, and if you weren't familiar with ABBA before Mamma Mia, you certainly probably were aware of them afterwards, like myself. But now for how I like the show. I absolutely love Mamma Mia. I feel like it's one of those shows that pretty much everybody who ever has seen it, once they see it, they love it. I mean, I don't know everyone in the whole entire universe, but on my end, I saw the show 3 times on Broadway. I loved it every single time. It's just one of those shows that like lifts your spirit, can get you out of a bad mood for a few hours. It's just like it's just like a really fun, lively, energetic show, and it's just one of those classic shows that you love every single moment. It's like a show I thoroughly enjoyed from start to end, and I'll talk about a few of the, I guess, musical numbers now. Also, I really like the performances as well. Had to point out, and the choreography was nice too. That yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the musical numbers now. What they have in here, which I actually don't prefer, is they list the musical numbers in alphabetical order, which I never like it when Broadway shows do that because it's much easier to remember moments in the show when you see them listed in the playbill as though they happened when they happened in the show. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I remember a lot of moments, but yeah, I don't really care for that, but I'll show the musical numbers. I'll just talk about some of my favorite moments. SOS is probably my absolute favorite moment in the show. I just really like the melody of the song and the dancing. I'm pretty positive that moment is when right before Act 1 ends, like right before intermission, when, all the conflict or is about, like taking place and like we don't know where the characters' storylines are going to go. That's just like one of those moments that that's probably my favorite moment in the whole entire show. Probably thought I'd say Dancing Queen of Mamma Mia, which I do really like, but SOS is just probably one of my favorite moments. Obviously, Dancing Queen is pretty much iconic with this show. Especially it's like around the, when they wear those bright, colorful outfits. I think everyone knows about that moment. It's really fun. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I do, I do, I do, I do, I do. I have a dream, knowing me, knowing you. Lay all your love on me. Mamma Mia, money, money, money. Slipping through my fingers, obviously SOS. Take a chance on me. Thank you for the music. The winner takes it all. That's probably another one of my favorite numbers. That's when the lead character of Donna Sheraton, just like, I forget exactly what the song's about, but I just remember that being like a really, like a standout moment in the show. Under Attack, Voulez-vous, which is probably French, and I don't know if I pronounced that right. I apologize if I didn't. But yeah, basically, Mamma Mia is one of those shows where every single moment is enjoyable and fun, and it's hard to, like I said, to point out a favorite moment. I do have one. SOS is my favorite song in the show, but it's just like one of those shows where it's very rare to have a show where from start to end it's thoroughly enjoyable. Like, there's never a dull or boring moment. Never, like, basically every song is a song you like, or I like, I should say. But yeah, that's a very rare thing to happen in a show because sometimes there's usually always a song that you don't care for, but not in this show. every moment was fun, and I loved Mamma Mia. And Mamma Mia is no longer on Broadway in New York, but I'm sure there's productions, regional productions, community theater productions. Maybe there's even a national tour at this moment in time. I'm not aware if there is or isn't one, but if there is and you get the chance to see it, I highly recommend it. It's such a fun show, and everyone should have the chance to see Mamma Mia because, like I said, it's a show that just lifts your spirits. There was one more moment I wanted to talk about. It's the very end of the show. Sky and Sophie, like, they walk off into, like, the sunset. And what's the song? This is, where you can tell I don't edit my videos because now we're going to have a slight pause. I Have a Dream. I think that's the last number in the show. See, they should put this in the order that it was performed because then I would have had it like that, but alas, they did not. And anyway, now for anything interesting in the playbill. Yeah. I saw this show, like I said, in March of 2002. And the first thing that I'll talk about is at the time there was a production of The Crucible starring Laura Linney and Liam Neeson. I remember when this played, it actually played, at the time this theater was called the Virginia Theater. It has since changed the name to the August Wilson Theater. But yeah, I remember when this played on Broadway and I really wanted to see it, but I didn't get to see, I don't get to see every show I wanted to see. But yeah, there's a whole article in here about that. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Kristen Bell was in this production probably before it's 2002, so definitely before she did Veronica Mars, but a little bit of a Broadway fun fact for you there. Kristen Bell did a few Broadway shows before she became a huge TV star. One of my favorite TV stars. She's been on some great shows. And then the article continues on the last page of the playbill. And then one other thing I wanted to show was there was also a production for a show called Metamorphosis, which is probably Greek mythology related. So this show played at the Circle in the Square. Sorry, I think my camera's out of focus, but yeah, I get distracted by that. But yeah, here's the article about Metamorphosis. It played at the Circle in the Square, and I never got to see this show, but I definitely remember when it was on Broadway. And like I said, I'm not super into Greek mythology, which is probably what the show's about. I kind of wanted to go because if you can tell by this picture, there's like a pool that they put in the theater, and I just thought that was just so incredibly cool. And like I said, I didn't get to see the show, but that just really seemed cool to me. And I think that might be it for interesting things I find in the playbill. I guess I'll just point out my next Broadway show now. The next Broadway show I'll be talking about is right down here. I saw the 2002 revival of Oklahoma that starred Patrick Wilson and Andrea Martin in April of 2002. And so that'll be my 18th Broadway show, the next show I'll be talking about. And then over here is an advertisement for 42nd Street, a show I previously talked about on my channel, as I got to see it on Broadway. So yeah, today I talked about my 17th Broadway show, which was Mamma Mia, and yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and until next time, bye.